Today we're going to be reviewing using order of operations to simplify expressions. You might remember back in Algebra 1, you used the phrase, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." These words will help you remember what you're supposed to do and in what order. So let's look and see what each one stands for. My first word, please. Please stands for parentheses. So the first thing you're going to look and see if there's any parentheses, and you're going to do that first. My next word, excuse, stands for exponents. So first you'll do parentheses, the next will be exponents. If you forgot what an exponent looks like, I'll show you in the first example. The next two words will go together. My dear. My dear stands for multiply or divide, and you'll do whichever one comes first in your problem. The last two words, Aunt Sally, stands for addition and subtraction. Same thing, you'll follow whichever one comes first in your problem from left to right. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally stands for parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. So let's look at an example. Example 1, go ahead and write this down. Evaluate, and anytime you see the word evaluate, they want you to have a value for your answer, or a number. There's the word value. So I have 1/3 times the quantity 48 plus 3 minus 2 to the third, or 2 cubed. You'll hear that called 2 cubed sometimes. That's an exponent. So let's use the order of operations to simplify this. Parentheses. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses will come first. So I need to do what's in parentheses first. I'm going to write down my 1/3. 48 plus 3 is 51 minus 2 to the third, or 2 cubed. Now I'm going to write down every single step. If you combine steps, that's fine. So I took care of my parentheses. The next thing, please excuse. Excuse stands for exponents. I need to take care of this exponent. Now if you've forgotten how exponents work, 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. I'm going to replace this 2 to the third with 8. Now I have 1/3 times 51 minus 8. So I've taken care of please excuse, parentheses, and exponents. My dear means to multiply or divide. Now sometimes people get confused. 1/3 times 51. 1/3 times 51 is the same thing, if I put my 51 over 1, is the same thing as having 51 over 3. Because I just multiplied straight across. 1 times 51 is 51. 3 times 1 is 3. 51 over 3 is now a division problem. A fraction is the same thing as divide. So 51 divided by 3 is 17 minus 8. And 17 minus 8 is 9. So this expression simplifies down to 9. Let's look at another example. Example 2. The expression 15 minus 3 times the quantity 2 plus 6 times -3 simplifies to what? So following the order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This one looks different because I have a bracket and a parenthesis. So we're going to treat the brackets just as if they were parentheses. I'm going to write down my 15 and my -3. Now since I have a parenthesis inside my bracket, I'm going to do this part first. So I have my 2 and 6 times -3. So I have 2 plus 6 times -3. 6 times 3 is 18, but since it's negative, I have a -18. When multiplying a number, if you have different signs, it's negative. So 6 times -3 is -18. So now I still have parentheses. Remember, brackets mean the same thing as parentheses. I'm going to rewrite my 15 I'm going to rewrite my minus 3. 2 plus negative 18. When adding or subtracting integers, if the signs are different, we subtract. So 18 minus 2 is 16. Since my 18 was my biggest number, when I'm looking at it without the sign, it's going to be a negative 16. So 2 plus negative 18 is negative 16. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I've taken care of parentheses. This now is a multiplication problem. 15 minus 3 times negative 16. 3 times 16 is 48, and since it's negative, it's a negative 48. Back in Algebra 1, we learned that 15 minus a negative 48, when you have two negative signs together, that's a new problem now. 15 plus 48. And 15 plus 48 is going to give us 63. So 63 is our answer. Now you're going to try some on your own. Here are your two problems. It's multiple choice, and your teacher will have the answer.